Good morning and welcome back. We have a great treat for you, very important for your well-being. Samuel Fields Consulting Group, a private consortium of business and finance experts, will host its first virtual financial empowerment conference on Tuesday, 22nd of February, 2022. The Lifestyle Influenced by Financial Empowerment Conference. So that's Lifestyle Influenced by Financial Empowerment, Life Conference. It will promote a happier, healthier, and wealthier lifestyle through improved attitudes and behaviors to reduce financial stress. And I told you it was important, right? Because they're helping you. And here to tell us about this is Mrs. Samuel Fields. She's the CEO of Samuel Fields Consulting Group. And Mac Gardner and Dr. Roger Feierstein. They're all here. There we go. Perfect. So I don't know if you can tell, Mrs. Samuel Fields, but I think my mother would have loved you as a daughter because, first of all, you're doing amazing work where you're trying to give back to the community. Because I heard that your company's mantra was "Lickle Lickle," and I'm like, right here, it got me. And then also, you've been a CPA for 30 years. And an attorney at law for 13 years. And if you look closely, I want you to look. She must have started at 2 years old because I don't know how. So
you're my best friend.
Hey, I was going to ask you to be my mentor because I'm like, I need to make my mother happy and proud. So please mentor me, help me.
Absolutely.
Please do. So please just give us a little bit of like an overview of what's going on.
Okay, so Samuel Fields Consulting Group, we are a consortium of experts who focus on financial wellness, financial literacy, financial empowerment. And over the last year or so, we have been doing lots of webinars and other activities to assist locals and persons within the diaspora as well in understanding more about finances, understanding how they can make certain lifestyle and mindset changes. And our group, we decided that what we needed to do was to have a conference. And so we're having a life conference, and you said it right, lifestyle inspired by financial empowerment, and a FinFet. So we're having a conference. It's going to be an all-day session. It's really two conferences in one, where the first part will be focused on specific, I would say hardcore financial topics. And then the second part is our FinFet, where it's still about finances, but it's going to be more on a lighter side and seeing how finances and your financial health fits into the overall wellness, whether it is, we have a financial wheel, a wellness wheel, and there's 7 of them. So we're going to be speaking about spiritual, intellectual, social, environmental, and the others. And so what we are doing is we want to ensure that everyone gets on the path to financial wellness.
Beautiful.
So the first part, we have a wide range of persons who are experts in their field. And we have today 2 of them with us, and I'm so excited. We have Mac Gardner, who is also Antiguan. Hey. And Mac is our keynote speaker, and I know he'll have quite a bit to say, but Mac, he has his own company. He's the CEO of Finlit Tech, and he's an author. He's a certified financial planner, and he's also working on an app which will help with financial literacy. Okay. And we also have Dr. Roger Feierstein, who is my professor. And he is a guru on creativity and on how you can create a better you for the future. Okay. So it's going to be an exciting conference and lots of fun as well.
Okay, this is exciting for me because it sounds as if you're trying to be accessible. Because a
Absolutely.
lot of times, and I think I might try to ask Dr. Feierstein about this, because I want him to kind of explain to us what he means by creative, because especially for someone like myself, my background was creative arts, right?
Oh,
so
nice.
I went to an arts high school, and the sad stereotype of artists, especially emerging ones such as myself, is that we are struggling, we are starving, there's no money until you successfully start to consistently book gigs. But all before that is just auditions and starvation and barely making rent. So the mindset is always that creative people don't know money, we don't know how to take care of it, we don't know what to do with it when we finally get it. So would he be able to expound on that a little bit?
I am pretty sure, but I like what you said about mindset, because our topic, it's about putting two and two together. It's mindset and lifestyle changes. And that's really where it starts. It starts with the mindset and then with your lifestyle. So we're trying to put the two of them together.
Yeah.
And as I'm saying two and two, I hope you recognize that day, because it's a magical day.
I was going to ask you about that too.
Absolutely. It was a day that we selected because of the topic that we had. But it is 2-2-2-2-2.
Yep.
And so that's not going to happen again in this century. So we thought that that's what we'll do. We'll have the conference on this magical day, because this is the day we want everyone to really go on their financial wellness journey, see how they can make changes, not do what mom and dad did. And you know what? Kudos to them, but there's so much.
They did their best.
They did their best, but there's so much more we can do. And so that's why we chose that day.
Fantastic. Because I was going to ask, who is into angel numbers or life path numbers? Because if you add up all the twos, I think it's life path number 3. And that's like good for communication and helping to teach others about.
And you know,
so
I did not even know that.
Hey.
When we looked at it, it was about balance.
Yeah.
And that's really important as well.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So are your fantastic partners in crime, and you said your professor, are they with, hey, there they are.
They are.
So Dr. Feierstein, would you be able to just talk to us a little bit more about the creative aspect that you include?
I would love that, because creativity is not just the arts, okay? When we look at creativity, we look at a process for creativity, because we're all creative and we all create in different and valuable ways. And you mentioned the starving artist. The starving artist is a myth, all right? You don't have to starve to be an artist. As a matter of fact, some of my artists or friends are doing very, very well. And so back to what the whole conference is about, it's really about mindset, okay? If you want to have the mindset to be a starving artist, well, you're going to probably be a starving artist. But if you want to have the mindset to create wealth, to create goodness in the world, then you'll build that into your art. And then you can use that wealth to create even more wonderful art and increase your reach. And so in this session, we're going to be talking about building the future. That's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about, creating a vision for your future. And part of creating that vision for your future is not only what you want to do as far as your profession is concerned, but how you're going to create the wealth, to create the lifestyle to support that. So starving artist is a myth, sorry, okay? And we're all creative. We all create in different and valuable ways.
Because you're absolutely right, because I think we're always telling artistic people not to sell out, because then your work won't be true anymore and you need to suffer to have like inspiration. But I'm like, but if you have the ease with which to create, then the sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
So I love that. Let's make it a myth, because it was not
That's
cute.
what it is.
I hated those bed bugs. I hated all the suffering. I hated it. So don't do it, kids. Don't do it. And then we have Mr. Mac Gardner. I think that you have a book called The 4 Money Bears. Yeah. That just sounds cute. Tell us more about that.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, thank you again for having me. The 4 Money Bears is actually my second book. My first book is titled Motivate Your Money. This book I wrote for adults, and the story of the 4 Money Bears came about because one of my clients came to me and said, Mac, I love your Mac nuggets. I love how you simplify the financial planning process for so many people. You know, would you be open to writing a book or creating something for kids? And we started doing research. And there was a Cambridge study that was done a few years ago that shows that a child's connectivity with money actually starts by age 7, sometimes as early as age 5. And is a fun and entertaining way for a parent who probably didn't get this financial education or financial literacy to have the conversation with their children. And so we are very blessed. We published the book years ago. And one of the common refrains that we got from folks is, hey, you know, love the book, it's great, but is there an app? Because children are learning digitally, children are learning differently now. And so we went about doing that. We started Finlit Tech. The mission of our firm is to build a bridge between financial literacy and financial technology. Our app is going to be launching February 17th. Before we know it's going to be out there. And we're really excited when Megan and Reed came to us and said, hey, we're looking to put together an event to really focus on financial wellness, financial literacy, financial education. I was on board and more than happy to help. So looking forward to the event on 2/22/22 on a Tuesday, by the way, on a Tuesday.
That is fantastic. It's very much like serendipitous, where you have all these Tuesday. I know obviously you guys planned that, but I do like how you were thinking about that. And, you know, it takes two, right?
It takes
there we
two.
Go.
It takes two.
And then can I also, any three of you can expound on this, but networking. I remember trying to explain to my other starving artistic friends that sometimes it's networking that we need to really focus on, because you literally sometimes can be one friend away from someone who is like, I know an amazing agent, or I know somebody who is actually looking to be a patron, or somebody who, you know, their parent loves the arts, and maybe, you know what I mean? So tell us a little bit about, or any three can tell us about networking and why that's one of your, I think it's one of your workshops?
Yes. So what we're going to do is, in addition to having the various speakers, we have what we call our networking lounge. And within that lounge, we are going to have other speakers as well speak. So the topics may not be spot on finance, but finance related. But then we are going to have a specific time where every participant, every attendee has the opportunity of meeting the specific speakers, or even meeting the other participants. Networking, I can tell you, perhaps maybe because I'm an accountant, it's not something that is normal or natural for me. But as I got more and more into my business, I realized that it's so important. It is so important to network. And I do believe that I am not the only one who might have a little difficulty in networking. And so we have made sure we have a particular session where persons are allowed to meet with Dr. Feierstein, meet with Mac, meet with the other presenters, and have a discussion. And as you say, they might be able to say, hey, I know a friend who might be able to assist. Yeah.
It's all about just asking those questions and
All about
introducing yourself.
asking.
I know it's still scary. It is still very scary, and I understand why maybe yourself or other people aren't interested in doing it. And even for myself, where there's a lot of pressure to say the right things to people,
Yes.
but sometimes you just have to be
It's
like,
necessary.
hey,
It's absolutely
we're both
necessary.
here. You know?
And you know what? At the end of the day, once you do it,
Yeah,
piece of cake.
practice. Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then let's see. So creative. So what is the gold standard, Dr. Feierstein? What is the gold standard? Are you part of the gold standard?
Oh, you are so kind. Actually, one of my clients, the Clorox company, a number of years ago when we were doing a lot of training and development with them, labeled me as the gold standard of creativity training. And I've had the blessing of training more people to lead the creative process than any other person in the world. And Megan is one of my students at our program at the Center for Applied Imagination at SUNY Buffalo State. And so she's getting her Master of Science degree in creativity and change leadership. I'm the senior faculty there, and I've been in the creativity and innovation business for over 45 years. So I guess the gold standard is that I'm able to really deliver for my clients and for the people that work with me. And it was a great honor to have that bestowed upon me. So no formal ceremony, just some very nice people at a very nice company saying I did good work for them.
Fantastic. And then just again, back with Mac Gardner, how many books are you writing? So you had your motivational money book for all of us, and then you had your book for children, which I think is so important, because what were you saying were the ages 5 and 7 for?
Yes. So the Cambridge study shows us that a child's connectivity with money starts by age 7. And what it's showing us is that by that age in life, what happens is a child understands, they realize what money is, they recognize what it does. And what's important is they start to then rationalize how money fits into their life. And it's really, really important, because we talk about the 4 money bears symbolize the 4 things that money can do for you, right? There's only 4 things money can do: spend it, save it, invest it, or give it away. And so we created these 4 bears to represent those four functions of money. And the storyline of the four money bears is each function of money can do things both good and bad on their own. The importance is that they work together and they create something called a budget. And that should be a child's sort of first introduction into money, the building blocks, as we like to call it. The other books that we're working on, the other creative ideas are, this is a second book. It's called The Four Money Bears Go to the Bank. And what it does is it introduces kids to Banker Box Turtle and Lender Lion and Omnibus Owl and Crypto Cat. And what we're really working to do is to make the Four Money Bears app and book a child's on-ramp to financial education, right? It's a long journey when you start about money and learning about money and then managing it and all the different things you have to do. So the next step, we believe, is introducing them to the banking system in a fun and entertaining way. Again, we call it financial literacy. And the app is going to have different aspects of the second book that we're developing as well. Again, to introduce young people, to meet them where they are in their development process, so that they're actually having fun and in a gamified way learning about money.
Mm-hmm. See, I think, again, this is why it's so important, because I think maybe it was like in our 20s, my friends and I, we would always complain about algebra is important, we understand, but why didn't anyone teach us how to do our taxes? Why didn't anyone teach us how to do, like, realistic budgeting? Because, if you're making $8 an hour and people tell you to save $2 out of the $8, you're there like, but my expenses are $12 an hour. So where am I going to get this $2? So everyone, you need to go to this. You need to do this. It's virtual. It's very accessible. And then also Kim Sledge. So We Are Family. She's doing it.
Yes, but unfortunately, something has come up. She just contacted us last night, and she won't be able to make it. Yeah.
But then you still have Pockets Change, which is...
oh my gosh, Pockets Change. I really do need to spend at least a half a minute
go for it.
telling you about Pockets Change. This is a group. They are based in New York, but they have Caribbean connections, and they are a hip-hop group, so they're into music, and they have combined music and finance, and their focus is really the young people, and they find ways to speak about money to the young people, but what they do, they make it intergenerational.
I love it.
So it's not just we are pulling the children aside, it's going to be everybody speaking about money. And so Pockets Change, they've partnered with us, and they're going to have they're going to be speaking about money mantras, and they're going to have a morning vibe that's going to help. That's going to be the start of our conference. But towards the end, they're going to have a session speaking about finding the rhythm of your finance. And it's amazing the amount of the connection that music has with money, and how it affects your mindset as well as your lifestyle. And then he's a musician, so we're going to end with what we call a money jam, because of course it's a FinFET, so you need to have a jam. So there's going to be a money jam where he, along with his musicians, they have teamed up with a few Antiguan artists, and they're going to put together a money jam that's going to be focused on finance and wellness. They're going to have their own lyrics and their own whatever they're going to do, but that's how we're going to end it. And so the FinFET, it's free, so I wanted to mention that. There are two parts. The FinFET is free, and Pockets Change in particular, because of their focus on youth, as well as Mac, who has his book, as well as the app coming out, we want to encourage as many young people. It's free, so there's no excuse about money to come to the FinFET. Of course, the Life Conference, the first part is not free. That's $120 US, but it's going to be so chock full of so many different presenters, topics. You're going to get a FinLit toolkit, a FinTech toolkit, and so you have lots and lots of things that you can take away from this conference.
This is fantastic. So, like we said before, this is life-changing stuff. It is 120 US, but there's so many things that you're getting for the 120. It's like over 25 speakers, this amazing theme, there's networking, and then for free you're getting like basically a music festival. And essentially this is stuff that is going to help us move forward as personally and then as a people. So please check this out. It's on the 22nd of February, virtual, all day.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
I also just need to say we have some sponsors, and I really do need to speak about my sponsors. We have ACB Caribbean. They were the first to jump on board, and ACB Caribbean, we're seeing how there are similarities. They are setting up a small business unit specifically for small businesses, and that's our focus as well. And so we found that that would be them sponsoring us, that would be a good connection and combination. So ACB, they're our sponsors. We also have James and McGinley, they're our sponsors, as well as Tradewinds Hotels. Hotel. Tradewinds Hotel, they have a phenomenal chef, and one of the sessions is going to be a cooking demonstration on how you can eat healthy on a budget. Because it's important to, if you're going to be financially well, every aspect of you, of your being, needs to be in balance. So we thank Tradewinds Hotel for coming on board with us. There are a few other sponsors. I can't name them yet because we haven't finalized exactly, but we are expecting a few other sponsors as well.
Okay, this is incredibly exciting. So
It is.
we've had here today our wonderful CEO, Mrs. Samuel Fields of the consulting group, and we had Dr. Roger Feierstein and Mac Gardner, who's also Antigua. So there we go. So again, Antigua Barbuda today has so much in store for you. Please come on back.